Louisiana beer reviews, barrel aged Innis and Gunn Gunpowder IPA. Innis and Gunn Gunpowder IPA, I think, was introduced in 2018. It's not aged in barrels, but it has barrel wood in the beer tanks. That's what a lot of these modern ales are doing. They're barrel in the beer. Barrel pieces. 5.6% alcohol. And international bitterness units not disclosed. This is brewed in Scotland, and I bought this at Martin Wine Cellar. 11.2 ounces, not the full 12 ounce, unfortunately. Best by July 19. Oh, I'm sorry. Best by July of 2019. 207th day of 2018. Oh, not super fresh, but they've got a long range on it, so should be fine. Innis and Gunn Gunpowder. Guy Fawkes might have enjoyed this type of beer. They use Munich malt. So Munich malt, Cascade, Centennial and Mandarina are the hops. Gets a good score on Beer Advocate with only 25 ratings, 73 out of 100. I would say that's average. Untapped doesn't like, Rapier doesn't like it. They're giving it a 40 out of 100. A 40. And a 17 in the style. They say in the style it's just exquisitely bad. And then with 97 ratings. So neither one of them get to 100. Untapped with 11,862 check-ins. 11,862 check-ins, give it a 69. So 69, 40 to 69 to 73. Now, to be fair, on Untappd, you don't have to write anything. You just type in your numbers, check it in, and you're going on about your business. I like Rapier and Beer Advocate because you have to, well, at least on Rapier, you got to write something. And I like to read those. I don't like how the scores pan out sometimes, but that's okay. They're interesting to read. It is interesting to read the reviews. So I've never before had this. There are some video reviews. I intend to watch them. It says, an explosion of tropical fruit aromas. Think grapefruit and mango turned up to 11. And the bourbon barrels, or they should say the bourbon barrel pieces, have added a silky smooth texture which complements these fruity notes perfectly. Well, we'll see. Here we go. Innis and Gunn Gunpowder IPA. I don't think it's black powder. Must be smokeless powder. Not much head in this glass, but some off-white head. It's orange gold. Yeah. Orange gold. It's bubbly. There is some little bit of haze to it. A lot of this is coming from condensation on the gloss. Let's check it out. I've been pleased generally with their beers. I know there's some kind of controversy with this company where people are slagging on it, talking about how their beers are no good. But I haven't noticed that with them. I think their beers are good. It is fruity. And there's some tea, like iced tea. Maybe some bourbon barrel like the wood, but not a whole lot in the nose. Really, just think of some fruit, some tea, and white bread crust. Yeah, and maybe a slight bit of nougat, if you can believe it. Subtle bourbon barrel, and if you've had bourbon, you know what that tastes like. If you haven't ever had bourbon, it's hard to relate to the bourbon barrels. Subtle fruit. It's not an explosion of fruit. Could be the age on it. Bitterness, very mild. But the British Isles, their India Pale Ales don't tend to be particularly bitter when you compare them to the classic American style India Pale Ales, though. Sweetness, sweet white bread crust. Another thing about the British Isles, their India Pale Ales, if they have age on them, are more like the British soldiers would have been drinking in India in the 1850s, 60s, 70s, 80s, because they super hop the India Pale Ales to ship to India. So they would take a pale ale and super hop it to preserve it, so they didn't have refrigerated ships back then. After the many months get into India, they could chill it a little bit if they didn't drink it warm, but in some parts of India is so hot, I don't see how they could drink it hot like that. Further south you get on the subcontinent. But they wouldn't be super bitter. If they were bitter at all, just a slight bit of bitterness, it was to preserve it. So then the Americans, well, we have refrigerated vessels today, containers, so then we know what happened with the American India Pale Ales with the jacked up bitterness. That's a different style of beer, really. I like them both. I enjoy both. Okay. Medium mouthfeel, very prickly carbonation. Sort of a sweet finish though. Not dry, but medium sweet. If you like a kind of sugary beer with a elevated alcohol over the norm, the average, with a tinge of bitterness underneath at the back end of the sip, and great balance and a delicious flavor, this could be one for you. The price was not bad. I bought, like I said, I bought this, no, I think I bought it at Matherne's. I said more, but they both sell it. So it was about two something, $2.99 a bottle. Yeah, it's expensive, but it's a treat. It's a gourmet beer. I would say an A+. About an, let's say, getting into the high A's, 97 out of 100. An outstanding beer, 97 out of 100. I really see no problems with it. So this is much better than I expected, although I was expecting it to be at least excellent in the 90s. So wow, what a good beer. I'm going to enjoy drinking it. I might revisit it one day. No complaints at all. Want to write the reviews, be careful with that. So, oh man, dynamite beer. Dynamite beer. I was watching Danny doing his review of it. I didn't listen to it yet. He just had poured it. I don't like to be influenced. I have this potted meat with the Trappy's bull sauce, the hot sauce. And one of them has the Yamasa soy sauce on it. So let's see how this works out. Yes. How about the one with the Yamasa? Even more delightful. Les bon temps relais. Y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.